Alright, welcome to the last video. We have got a doozy of a lab for you. You probably could figure out what it's going to be. If you think about last unit, we did movie quotes together in the lecture, and then your lab was to create a WeatherPix backend. So no shock, this one was the client together with movie quotes. So your lab is the WeatherPix lab. So hopefully you've still got a deployed version of WeatherPix somewhere. So the way it works is you can view pictures on the website. You can also add your own. I feel like adding rain pictures today. The easiest way to grab pictures is just to go online and go get them. I find it's best to go to the actual image. So here, if I wanted to add this guy, I could add a picture. And so this is rain image from the web. And then I can just paste in an image URL. So there's a rain image from the web. And so what we're doing, and you should also be able to do that localhost as well. So rain localhost. I obviously had to start up my localhost again. You probably haven't had your localhost running in a while, but you'll want to make sure you've got both of them going. And the thing that you're going to be building is an iOS app. So here is my iOS app. There's a lot of things that your iOS app has to be able to do. So it looks like I added one, so I'm going to do a pull down to refresh. There's one of the things right there, right? It has to display a list of the captions. So it's just the captions in the list. We're not trying to load the image here. And then when you click on one, the detail view will show you the actual image. You could probably also add a spinner or something there to show that it's loading before it comes in. It feels very different than movie quotes, but it's actually not. So instead, before you had two string fields, which was the movie quote and the title, here you've still got just two string fields. This image is not saved on the back end. It's also not saved on the client. It's just a string, and then we're just loading in the image. So that's really the only things that is different. You also need to be able to do things like edit, right? So we need to say, so I chose to change it to edited by iOS there. So if I refresh on the website, it says edited by iOS. So that's the basics of what you're going to be making. You're going to be making it from scratch. So it's going to be a lot of work, not going to lie to you. We've got a document here which goes over, a bunch of the instructions. You're going to have to generate the client code first. That's the first steps. Refer to the videos heavily for movie quotes for that. You're going to have to develop the client code. It should look exactly like the one that I just showed you, right? Like those things will be good review of your master detail app creation skills. You need to be able to do create, read, update, delete. We've given some hints to you here, if you look at this, about how to handle the loading of an image from an image URL. It's not hard. It's a single line of code. I put it in view did appear so that the view was there, and then it starts to load it. And it has to be able to create from the master, read them from the master, also have that pull down like we did in movie quotes. Update it, that's actually from the detail view, and delete is from the master as well. I'm going to go through the checklist that you should kind of do yourself when you're done, or when you think you're done. And I'm just going to kind of go through all the steps, right? So step number one works with the deployed app. Check, it's definitely working with the deployed app. Shows the spinner before the initial data load. I guess really the only way to see that is to stop it and run it again. So you can see it showing the spinner before the initial data load, and then boom, they're there. So check mark on that one. Display a list of the captions on load, check. Refresh the list on pull down. I showed that one earlier, but it pulls down to show refresh. Here I didn't do a refresh. Really the best way to show that your refresh works is to make a change and then show the refresh. But I showed that earlier, so I'm going to skip over that one. Display a detailed view of a WeatherPix, check. So if I go to a detailed view, it'll load it up. Works with localhost as well. Suppose I had to prove that it works with localhost as well. So I just switched it over to localhost, yes. I run it again. And you can see that my local host only has one in there, and it was Rain localhost. So check mark on that. So it definitely works with localhost in addition to my deployed, which you can see because there's different data. Where's that in this list? Shows no weather picks if there are none. So let's go ahead and delete. So I'll show delete here as well. And you can see that it says no weather picks when there are none. Whereas, like when you first started the app, it said a different message. I don't think you'll be able to see it. Your eyes are going to have to be really fast. Yeah, it said loading and then no. So it definitely says no weather picks when there are none. You can create a weather pick by typing in an image URL. So let's just go ahead and create a new one. So new image, typing URL. I have no interest in actually typing the URL. Instead, what I'm going to do is, well, cheat, right? Let's just go ahead and grab a new image. Grab a different rain image. Right here, some more rain. This is tricky. If you want to copy it and paste it into your iOS clipboard, you have to do a Command-C, which is interesting. And then you have to hit Command-V. That Command-V, nothing visual happened, but it actually pasted it into your iPhone simulator clipboard, which is funny. And then you can click in here and kind of, hover and wait until it says paste, and then it'll actually let you paste it in. So this is an image by actually typing the image URL, and you can see it shows up fine there. It also shows up on my local host, so image by typing a URL. You also need to be able to have this feature where if you want to just add a random pick, you can leave it blank. So this is a randomly selected image, and I'm just going to leave it blank. So I don't know what image it picked. It looked like it picked lightning with tornado photoshopped together. Maybe it really happened, but my guess is that's a Photoshop. So you have to be able to randomly generate a quote. There's more information in the doc about doing the random selection. So if you look through the doc, you'll see how to do that. Yeah, there it is. So it's selected from those guys. And then show the weather pick is present on the web client as well. So we've done that many times. Delete a weather pick. I've already done that, but I'll delete randomly selected. And of course you can see that it's gone on localhost. Show that the weather pick is gone. Edit a caption. I believe we've already done that. But I'll go ahead and edit this caption and just call it my rain. And then if I go over to the localhost, it'll update and say my rain. So there's a long checklist of things that you have to go through here, but it's really just to show that you can create, you can read, you can update, you can delete. You've got this whole marvelous app working together with these beautiful images in it that can talk to either localhost or your deployed version. All right, good luck. It's going to be a big lab. Once you're done with the lab and you've kind of got under your belt the movie quotes and then also the weather picks, you should feel very comfortable creating a back-end endpoints like app and then generating the client code and connecting it to iOS. So this has been your crash course into learning to do these things. Really powerful skill you've got. All right, I'll see you next time. Bye.